When you think you have heard it all, you are going to hear something that make you to marvel and start asking questions. What happened to people's conscience? Does that mean some people are so wicked that even to their own blood, they cannot restrain themselves? Udeogu Chinelo is a 37-year-old woman that on September 29, 2022, killed her 3-year-old granddaughter and dumped her corpse in the bush. Chinelo's daughter that gave birth to Ifechukwu absconded after she gave birth to her, and Chinelo had been the one taking care of this girl. But all through the life of this little girl with her grandmom, it was bedeviled with wickedness and hitting her over slightest provocation. On that September 29th, 2022, Ifechukwu was said to have had diarrhea and she needed to defecate because according to the neighbor that shared the video on Facebook, they said her tummy was big and she had bruises all over her body because it was not an unusual thing for Chinelo to hit her. So because she had this diarrhea, she needed to defecate. And maybe according to a 3-year-old girl, she didn't want to defecate on the floor. And maybe the toilet was not even easily accessible to her or hygienic enough for her. She needed a place she could do it. And she had to use the bucket they use in taking baths. And Chinelo could not control her anger when she noticed this and started beating Ifechukwu to the point that this girl collapsed. She rushed Ifechukwu to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. And you will think at this point that she hit this girl to the point of death, she was going to be remorse. No, she carried the corpse of Ifechukwu, wrapped her in a black cellophane bag, and dropped her in a bush along Hezekiah Dike Road in Oka in Anambra State, and she went back home. And I guess the neighbor would have been asking her where she dumped this girl, and she might just have been lying to them. And her next action was to go to the school where she enrolled this little girl and was asking for a refund of the school fees she paid. That was when the school authorities started asking her where this Ifechukwu was, and she told them that Ifechukwu committed a crime. She beat her, she died, and she dumped her in the bush. The school authorities quickly contacted the NAPTIP in Anambra State that came quickly and arrested Chinelo, who took them to where she dumped this little Ifechukwu's corpse, and it was already decomposing. And the NAPTIP quickly handed over to the police for proper investigation and prosecution. Now we are going to make little analysis to the life of Chinelo. Chinelo is only 37, and Ifechukwu was being given birth to by Chinelo's 19-year-old girl. So which means the girl was being given birth to when her mother was only 16. And that means Chinelo was 18 years old when she gave birth to her daughter, and her daughter was 16 years old when she gave back to Ifechukwu. This is what we have to see, the effect of no sex education on our kids. I'm going to approach this story from another angle. We know we shy away from sex education from our children, but we are causing more harm than good when we don't tell our children about sex education. Let our children know everything about what they need to know, because we know by ourselves that our kids need all this information. If we fail to teach them, some people are outside ready to teach them in a very wrong way. And we know that when we allow them to teach them, they are going to teach them in practical. We have to tell them the negative effect of indulging in this act without getting to the age of puberty. We have to tell them, apart from getting pregnant, when you indulge in this kind of activities, there are a lot of STDs that might ruin your life if you are not careful. Talk to your children about sex education. Be your children's friends. Be their confidant. Let them confide in you. Don't let someone else outside be their teacher. Be your children's teacher. So that when anybody tells them anything outside, they will be running straight to you to ask you questions like, Mom and Dad, is it true that this is true? Don't allow them to seek information where there is no information, because you are the only person that can tell your children the truth. Talk to them about sex education. Don't shy away from it, because this is what we have to know. This is what they have to know. They are curious about all this information. They read about it. They see it on the internet. They hear about it. So you have to be the one that will tell them the real information and not what they read or see on the internet. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this story. And let me know what you think in the comment section. What are your thoughts about sex education? At what point in the life of our kids do we need to introduce sex education? At what stage in their development do we need to talk about this crucial topic that a lot of people are shying away from? And do not forget to click the like button. And if today is the first time of seeing me, kindly click the like button, the subscribe button, and the follow button. And so also follow us on YouTube, and you are going to stay updated on all our videos.